Hi everyone, in this video I have two different RAM mount swing arm setups from the RAM-109 series of swing arms. Each of them has a different connection on the end, and in this video I wanted to show you some of the differences between these two connections. When you use a RAM setup for swing arms from the RAM-109 series, you have two different options about your end connection. You can use either a ball and socket system like this one, or you can use the post system like this one. So we'll take a look at the ball and socket system first, and if you've used RAM mounts before, you're probably familiar with this. On this swing arm mount, we have this knob here on the end. When we loosen up that knob, that's going to loosen up the ball within the socket. This is a 1.5-inch socket, and here we have a 1.5-inch C-size ball in the socket. When you loosen that up, you can tilt this plate forward and back all the way down. You can rotate it around a little bit, so rotate it 360 degrees. You can even move it left and right some. This particular swing arm also has it so that it opens up that entire end component, so you can rotate that all the way around. When you are happy with the positioning of this plate, you just need to tighten up the knob again, and that is going to secure the ball within the socket. The other option that we had was this post mount, and I will disassemble this quickly and show you exactly how this works. We have this threaded knob here on the bottom that we can remove. In the end of our swing arm, we have a hole that goes down through to the other end, and we have this universal electronics plate that has this metal post that drops into the hole, and that post is threaded on the inside, so you can get the knob in there and tighten it up. Now, this does give you a little bit less of a range of motion than the ball and socket system, but it does have its own advantages. One advantage is that this is something that you can adjust with one hand. That's harder to do with the ball and socket system because you need one hand to support the plate or move the plate and the other hand to tighten up the knob. This is something where this base that we have here would be bolted to a flat surface, but you can loosen up the knob, you can spin this around 360 degrees, and when you are happy with it, you just need to tighten up the knob again. Again, something you can do with just one hand. Another advantage is that this plate is going to be perfectly flat. With the ball and socket system, you have to angle it yourself. There can be some variations. Whether you're using a horizontal surface base or a vertical surface base, that plate is still going to be flat along the top. Both of these mounts have this universal electronics plate along the top, and they are both mounts that would commonly be used with some marine GPS units. And I did have a couple here today that I wanted to show you. Here we have a Garmin fish finder in the ball and socket swing arm mount. So here's our Garmin GPS that is attached to the Garmin gimbal bracket. That's attached to that universal electronics plate we had before on the 1.5-inch C-size ball. And just as before, we can loosen up the knob on the side of the arm, and we can make adjustments to the ball within the socket. So you can rotate that, you can move it around, position it however you want. We also, of course, still have the swing arm knob off of our horizontal surface base, so you can loosen that up. You can swing this all the way around. But something else that we have with our marine GPS mounted is we have the Garmin gimbal bracket. And what that means is we can loosen up the knobs on the Garmin mount. We can use that to tilt our GPS forward and back without having to adjust the ball and socket. Here we have another GPS mounted on that post system. So again, you can loosen up the knob on the bottom. You can rotate your GPS around. It's going to stay flat in the mount. You can loosen up the knob off of the base, and you can rotate the swing arm around. And even though you don't have the range of motion that the ball and socket is going to give you, you still have the gimbal bracket. So you can loosen up the knobs on it and make adjustments to your GPS. Even though the swing arm connection isn't going to allow you to tilt your GPS forward and back, the gimbal mounting bracket will. So that is a quick look at the ball and socket and post connections with the RAM-109 series of swing arms.